Today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about Google's Ads new text guidelines, which allows you to have greater control over automatically generated creatives. And I just chuckled when I saw it. Anyway, Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. Just before I jump in, a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. We post about Google Ads at least once every week. Okay, so as I mentioned off the top, Google Ads has rolled out a new text guidelines feature. This feature becomes available when you activate text customization. We rarely use that feature, excepting in some shopping accounts on PMax where we want to run search ads to obviously to a wide range of products on the website. And in that case, we will usually create URL exclusions for other things, right? So we may allow like product category pages to run and individual product pages, but we'd exclude things like about us um, and things that are just not relevant or would want to point ads to. Anyway, that aside, what this new tool does is it allows you to better inform the AI as to restrictions and guidelines for your brand, quote unquote. So, term exclusions, this section here allows you to add specific ad copy that you do not want to appear at all in your ads. So cheap, low cost, um, kind of makes sense in some circumstances, obviously. If you are the bargain brand, you might conversely select to put, expensive, premium, top of the line, things like that, be the opposite, although those words usually don't dissuade too much when you're a bargain brand. Um, okay, so enough said about term exclusions, pretty straightforward. And now we have messaging restrictions, and this is where it gets into the weeds a lot. Where here, in this example, you would say avoid implying our products are cheap, discounted, and a bargain. Well, that's sort of what we did here, but I guess this is more general so that the AI understands like it should not be saying anything about your product. It's like a lower cost bargain brand alternative kind of thing. Here's another example. Use this capitalization for a brand name, organization name with the cap on the second part of the brand, not the first. Um, Now, I would think AI should be smart enough. It's not obviously, but should be smart enough that if all over your landing pages you are using this variation of your brand and not this one, then it should be able to figure out that this is what the version is that you shouldn't have to specifically tell it that. But anyway, then moving on. Next example, when mentioning discounts, always add terms and conditions apply. So I would think Google, like being so stringent about things like terms and conditions and return policies and that on an e-com site, for example, that this would be implicit, like the AI would automatically include this, but I guess not. And then the last one, don't use language that is ambiguous, verbose, or demeaning. Okay, so that's pretty esoteric. It can mean a lot of things. But what I would just respond to this is saying, like, it just shows me that AI is so not ready for prime time to generate ad copy on the fly. And remember, so we don't only have ad copy that's generated now and add it to your campaigns as assets, such as headlines and descriptions. But we also have Google running this stuff like in PMax, where we don't even get to see historically what ran. And obviously, agencies that run this stuff on full blast, they're going to have their clients bugging them all the time with like, hey, how come our product is showing up as cheap when we are the premium brand? Or why aren't the terms and conditions statement included with where we have discounts and so on, right? So to me, I mean, it's just another indication that really we shouldn't be letting AI at this time generate creatives and apply it automatically. I am totally on board with having Google generate recommendations and then applying those selectively to the account because it does come up with some decent ones and the AI has improved over time. I will admit, over the last couple of years, the instance of headlines including phone numbers have been reduced dramatically. I don't know why that still hasn't been completely fixed, but anyway. And just generally, I mean, when we do get into a new prospect and do an audit, I do see when they do have activated some of these features that the creative elements are a little bit better than they used to be. But I still see a lot of garbage, like headlines with, sentence case when everything else is in title or capitalized case. I see features and benefits that are for a product that doesn't belong to that particular ad group and is therefore just like wrong information, and lots of other problems still. So this again, when I first read this a couple months ago when this came out, I kind of chuckled. It's not a tool we're using because again, we're rarely implementing this except on shopping. We may start to use this on shopping, but I do think because there is a product feed that Google does a much better job of leaning on that for creating copy for search ads. And there are a lot of clients where we don't really run this wide open anyway, or we don't run this at all on a shop, just because based on looking at search performance and PMAX, that it's not really generating that much from alternative, let's say alternative landing pages, right? To that like the categories that we break out in asset groups. Anyway, so that's my tirade for today. I understand why Google is doing this to help advertisers, but maybe we should just like stop pushing so hard on AI generated copy, rein that in a little bit until it can do a better job. Anyway, that's it for me for today. I hope this found this video useful, if not entertaining, and I will see you next time.